coming no less from the President of the United States himself. Once again repeating his statement, President Trump is of the opinion that India has decided to stop the purchase of Russian oil. This statement he made during his meeting at the White House with President Zelensky of Ukraine, where he seems to be asserting that New Delhi has already reduced imports and that process will take time, while reiterating his plan to end the Ukraine war through diplomacy and tariffs.
Well, India is not going to be buying Russian oil anymore. And Hungary is sort of stuck because they have one pipeline that's been there for years and years and years, and they're inland. They don't have sea. They don't have sea. And I spoke with the very great leader of Hungary, and they are, it's very hard for them to get oil. I understand it. Hungary's in a very interesting position because they can't have ports. They're surrounded by land. So we'll see what happens there. But India will not be buying oil from Russia. And they've already de-escalated, and they've more or less stopped. They're pulling back. They bought about 38% of the oil, and they won't be doing it anymore.
So over this statement by President Trump, the opposition back home has already started to once again question when it comes to the government, despite the MEA's clarification saying that there has been no such conversation that happened between President Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And however, when it comes to the opposition, in particular the Congress, now taking a drive at the government and the Prime Minister saying that the good friend seems to have now turned silent. This is Jairam Ramesh of the Congress saying that President Trump has yet again said that he has been assured by his good friend that India will cut back on its imports of oil from Russia, but that good friend suddenly becomes Mauni Baba whenever President Trump says he stopped Operation Sindoor, and now when he says that India will reduce its imports of oil from Russia. The Congress is of the opinion that India's trade deficit with China during April to September 2025 has increased, and this is now coming at a time where they are seeking a clarification no less from the Prime Minister himself to break silence over this issue and to publicly denounce the statements that has been made by the President of the United States of America. Let's connect with Isha on this. Isha, good morning. It is already the MEA has put out a statement saying that as far as the country's economic interests are concerned, that would be given priority. There would be no compromise, and also saying in the same breath that there has been no conversation that happened between President Trump and Prime Minister Modi. The opposition back home is not buying the statement given by the MEA.
Right, definitely the cracks seem to be getting wider as time progresses, and the United States President has had yet another meltdown. Amita, it will not be fair to take Donald Trump seriously because his statements are changing as fast as the weather changes. In fact, he has made several statements in the past as well. So taking him seriously will be a joke in itself, which, however, the opposition in India has been taking him extremely seriously, the statements he's been making, and now, of course, the conversation is about the tariffs and the trade deal which has come in. Jairam Ramesh of the Congress Party, the senior leader, has said that India is absolutely silent when it comes to trade deals. But however, this is not silence. In fact, the Prime Minister has also taken an indirect jab at the President, stating that he will not tolerate any insults to the poor of the nation. So,
and even when it comes to his personal equation there, but that has been impacted. But other than that, there wouldn't be any compromise when it comes to the consumer interest in India, and that has been put forward in this statement, the clarity that is now coming in from the Ministry of External Affairs. Thank you very much, Isha, for that update. We'll be back on the other side of a very short break.